not only did we find high levels of GMOs, we're talking about 28 to 100%. So this was not a little drift from the next farm or a grain bin that wasn't quite cleaned out well. These were, the crops themselves were genetically engineered. So not only did we find that in, quote, natural cereal, some of those cereals were actually touting themselves as being GMO-free. So it was really borderline or outright consumer fraud here.
Well, this has sent shockwaves through the natural health industry. I mean, I've talked to many influential people in the industry who are very concerned. Obviously, everybody wants the term organic to mean something. They want a non-GMO certification to really mean non-GMOs. And there's concern right now. A lot of consumers are confused. I mean, they're upset. We've had people who are upset. They were buying a brand and they thought it was GMO-free, and it turns out it's not. Was there a cereal brand that came out of this squeaky clean that can be trusted, Mark?
Yes. In fact, what I want to encourage your listeners to do and your readers on your website is to go to the Cornucopia Institute website, and that's CORNUCOPIA.org. Go to the Cornucopia Institute website and visit the cereal report. It's called Cereal Crimes. And on that, we have a scorecard where we list all the name brands, organic and natural, and what their policies are. And we rate them. And I'm happy to tell you that there are a bunch of 100% organic brands that you can really trust. And here's the kicker. Some of these, quote, natural brands, they cost more expensive than the organic ones.
Oh, yeah, so, I saw that.
Yeah, pretty outrageous. You know, the other interesting thing that the listeners might not be aware of is that many of these, quote, independent kind of green, crunchy companies, we are talking about granola here, are actually hiding behind a facade. One of the biggest companies is Kashi. They're owned by Kellogg's. You'll never see the name Kellogg's on a package or their website. Another brand is Bare Naked Granola. It's one of the largest selling granola brands, probably the most expensive on the store shelf at your grocery, whether you shop at Safeway or Whole Foods or one of the co-ops. Very expensive. That's owned by Kellogg's as well. Another granola brand, Back to Nature, that sounds nice. That's owned by Kraft, but you'll never see their name on there either.
Yeah, doesn't PepsiCo own one of the major brands out there? Is that Mother's? Or?
Yeah, I think that's PepsiCo. So, yeah. So most of these people know that people are Quaker is PepsiCo, and I believe Mother's also. So you know, when consumers are looking for value-added food and they're willing to pay a premium for it, most of the time that means organic. These natural ones are what I like to call organic light. Folks aren't just buying the granola or the cereal or the milk. They're buying the story behind that label, how it was produced, where it was produced, and they think they're supporting sound environmental stewardship. They think that they're supporting more humane animal husbandry when it comes to meat and dairy, and they think that one of the reasons it costs more is that economic justice for family farmers is built right into the price. So when they find out, we're really talking about giant agribusinesses, giant corporations, exploiting the trust of consumers, that the people that are doing the farming might be exploited immigrants, not small family farmers. The cows might be living short, stressful lives. You know, none of those things comport with the values and the story they think they're paying extra for.
Right, exactly.
This will be an eye-opener for some folks.
Mark, I want to ask you to stay with us. We're about to go to a break, but I have a couple more questions for you on the other side of this coming break. Specifically, I'd like to ask you, what can parents and consumers look for on the labels to be as sure as possible that there are no GMOs in those products? To the best of your knowledge, I'd like to ask you that question when we return. This is the Alex Jones Show. We're going to continue to cover GMOs and the breaking news of today, the false flag assassination, embassy bombing attempt. So stay with us here. We'll be right back on the Alex Jones Show.
This is Alex Jones with 5 good reasons you should consider buying a solar power generator. Number 1, new climate legislation could easily double or triple your electric bill. Number 2, our new energy czar wants to control how much power your electric company allows you to have. It's true. Total government control of electricity in the name of smart grid technology is coming. Number 3, in some areas of the country, the power grid is dangerously overloaded. And now, new socialist legislation is only compounding the problem. Number 4, dangerous weather is always a threat to local grids. Every year, thousands of families lose their power from weather-related outages. Number 5, a solar power generator provides powerful backup insurance and peace of mind. Folks, I really believe in the solar power generators offered by Solutions from Science, one of my oldest sponsors. You can get more information at www.mysolarbackup.com. That's mysolarbackup.com. Remember, the government doesn't own the sun, so go to mysolarbackup.com or call 1-877-327-0365.
OpticsPlanet.com is where discerning gun owners and outdoorsmen go to gear up. Optics Planet has the best selection of rifle scopes, red dots, night vision, holsters, bags, and tactical gear on the planet, with always low prices, free shipping on most orders, and expert customer service. Go to OpticsPlanet.com/GCN to get a free gift with purchase. That's OpticsPlanet.com/GCN or call 800-332-OPTICS, 800-332-6784.
That's the sound of your door being kicked in by an intruder with a single kick. That's the sound of the same door now protected by the Door Sentinel at MySafeDoor.com. Go to MySafeDoor.com right now and watch the amazing video. At MySafeDoor.com, you'll learn how to turn your home into a fortress with the Door Sentinel. 16 kicks later, and the Door Sentinel is still holding strong. MySafeDoor.com. That's MySafeDoor.com.
Alex Jones here with vital information concerning our nation's fragile food supply. Folks, there are some truly dangerous trends forming, and I think it's important for my listeners to do 3 things right away. Number 1, study the past. History really does repeat itself. Number 2, learn to spot the dangerous food shortage trends. Number 3, take decisive action. A perfect storm is brewing for a global food crisis. That's why I'm telling everyone to read the new book, Rising Prices, Empty Shelves. Warning signs that trigger the deadliest famines in history. Don't get caught unprepared when the crisis hits. This book is only available at risingpricesemptyshelves.com. You'll also get a free copy of Supermarket Survival, How to Cut Your Grocery Bills in Half. Again, that website is risingpricesemptyshelves.com. That's risingpricesemptyshelves.com.
What you're about to hear is the real experience of women over 40 who finally lost weight, even around the stubborn belly area. How? By becoming hormonally balanced again. Their secret is the Amberin Slim After 40 program. Amberin is the revolutionary formula for women over 40 that balances hormones naturally. You see, the leading cause of weight gain over 40 is hormonal imbalance. Unless you balance your hormones, losing weight may be impossible. But the Amberin Slim After 40 program changes all of that. Amberin restores hormonal balance naturally. Plus, it dramatically boosts your cell metabolism, so the weight can just fall right off, even that stubborn belly fat. Plus, Amberin eliminates other symptoms of hormonal aging, like hot flashes, night sweats, low libido, difficulty concentrating, and more. Be one of the first 50 callers right now, and they'll send you a complimentary risk-free trial with a 30-day supply. Free. Call 1-800-894-8776. That's 1-800-894-8776. 1-800-894-8776.
You take 'em all the man.
Yeah, we are back here on the Alex Jones Show. Thank you for listening in today. I'm the fill-in host, Mike Adams, the Health Ranger, I'm sometimes called. Happy to join in and fill in today with the whole crew here, the InfoWars crew, doing a fantastic job as usual. And we are joined right now by Mark Castell from the Cornucopia Institute, which has released a groundbreaking new report exposing the genetically engineered ingredient content in, quote, natural foods. It's extraordinary. We're going to talk to Mark for a couple more minutes, and then we're going to summarize some additional breaking news on the other news fronts. Oh, man, it is a day of just incredible news. There's so much going on here. If you see me looking around, if you're watching this on PrisonPlanet.tv, it's because I'm surrounded by headlines and stories everywhere. There's so much to bring in. There's no way we're going to get to it all, but let's continue with Mark Castell here from Cornucopia. I asked you a question before the break, Mark, about how can parents and consumers know with at least some certainty which cereals they can trust to be completely or substantially free of GMOs?
Well, I think the best weapon in making sure that, A, you have the safest food in terms of chemical residues, GMOs, antibiotics, hormones, is to look for that organic seal and to buy products that qualify for organic certification. That is by far the most comprehensive food production system that there's out there. It has federal law governing the standards. It has lots of independent certifiers that inspect every farm and every plant every year to obtain that certification. And then it has governmental and corporate watchdogs like the Cornucopia Institute to make sure that the USDA is actually fulfilling their duties, and they haven't always done that. And but there are lots of, most importantly, stakeholders. The individual farmers that believe in this, the consumers that believe in this, that's our intelligence agents out here at the Cornucopia Institute. We hear about problems, we're able to look at them. And other than organics, there's nobody looking over the shoulder of corporate agribusiness. They're just kind of painting this pretty marketing picture and expecting you to buy products that are really conventional food, and the profit margins on these, quote, natural products are through the stratosphere.
Well, that's the other angle on this that really shocks a lot of people. And by the way, Jaron, can you bring up a symbol, search the image of the USDA organic seal? I'd like to put that on the screen for those watching this. It's a green circular symbol, and you need to be familiar with this symbol so that you can look for it. That's what Mark was just mentioning. If it doesn't have that symbol, it's not certified by the USDA. And even though I personally don't have a lot of nice words for the USDA in general, I do know that their organic certification program is rock solid. I've seen their inspectors working and inspecting, and they actually do a very good job. That symbol means something, and I support that symbol. Any comments on that, Mark?
Yeah, we've seen the organic program is relatively young, and during the first years, we uncovered a pretty fair amount of corruption. At one point, we partnered with Cornucopia and the Washington Post on an expose of kind of a way too cozy relationship between the woman who was running the National Organic Program during the Bush administration and corporate lobbyists. And they were putting some synthetics in food that were illegal. They were allowing some giant factory farms to produce eggs and milk. And we've cleaned that up. I think the legacy of Barack Obama at the USDA is mixed at best. But in terms of the organic program, they've appointed some people with high integrity, and it's not where it should be yet. It's not 100% bulletproof, Mike, but it's getting there. I think your impression is generally accurate.
Well, the other thing that people need to realize, and this was also mentioned in your report in various ways, that GMO contamination is so widespread right now that it's virtually impossible to get a breakfast cereal made with corn or soy that doesn't have at least some small level of GMO contamination. But that might only be, 0.1% to 0.5%, something like that?
Yeah, there are very low thresholds. This really amounts to the fact that no matter what our number one issue is, and right now we're talking about food, but it could be about, whether the citizenry gets accurate information before we go to war. I mean, this is like deja vu all over again. I mean, remember the Tonkin Gulf resolution.
Mark, I'm sorry I've got to cut you off here. We're closing out this segment, and I want to thank you for joining us and encourage those listening to go to cornucopia.org to learn more. Mark, really appreciate you taking the time to talk with us.
Thanks for having us, Mike.
Great to have you on. Stay with us. We have a lot more breaking news, including a new headline just out from The Guardian that says Saudis say Iran must pay the price for this alleged plot. Stay with us. We'll be right back with more on that.
We're on the march. The empire's on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
You may be arrested and or
is here. The grim future foretold in 1984 has become reality.
It really says that the state is God.
The United States is now recognized globally as one of the most oppressive police states on Earth. This film conclusively proves the existence of a secret network of FEMA camps, now being expanded nationwide. This documentary exposes how the continuity of government program has established an all-powerful